Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this special webinar. I'm so glad to welcome you. And today we have a really interesting topic. I think it's interesting for, almost everyone. It's related to how we can transform our lives. And this is a huge topic which includes so many things. Basically, we can make a whole training focused on that topic. But today, I just want to mention a couple of basic fundamental advices which can be extremely helpful and which can actually transform your life very, very quick. So today, we are talking about those special advices, how you can transform your life. And after that, I will talk about Abundance Academy. That's my latest project. I will explain actually what it covers, what it means, how it can help you also to transform your life. And if you have any questions related to Abundance Academy or personal development, you're welcome to ask those questions. And of course, also, I will be really happy to see your needs, your advices, your suggestions about Abundance Academy, or what you would like to get, what you want to receive, how I can be helpful. So, really interesting topic. First, for those of you who don't know me, let me just say a couple of words about me. So my name is Marina. First of all, I'm a professional astrologer, and I will always be a professional astrologer in my heart. I'm a student of the Moscow Academy of Astrology, really serious education. So basically, that's my greatest passion. But astrology also opens up our minds to the desire to improve ourselves. Basically, psychology, personal development, spiritual growth, astrology, they are all connected. So, of course, as you can guess, and I think so just like many of you, I have interests also in those areas, personal development, spiritual growth. And I'm also a student of the coaching program of Tony Robbins. He's, the king in this area, definitely. So that's why I just want to combine those two things, astrology and coaching, because I think that they can be really helpful basically for everyone. So let's start with our topic today, related to the personal transformation, or the transformation of our lives, and actually what it takes, how we can achieve that. I have 5 simple steps, and they're very concrete, and I'm pretty sure that if you follow those advices, your life will be completely different in a very positive direction. So let me start with the first fundamental need or advice, actually what it takes to transform your life. And keep in mind that basically all of those things, they are simple. Actually, it's not something which you haven't heard or which sounds surprising, but the question is, do you remember them on a daily basis? And do you follow them? Because it's one thing to know something, and it's completely different to take action or to follow this direction. And of course, it's our human nature. At certain points, we have some ups and downs. Sometimes we forget all of those things, and that's why I think it's really helpful if you get some, if we actually get some remindings about the most important things. So the first general advice: take responsibility for your own life. And I know it sounds, well, very clear. I know it's actually very simple, but think about how many people are doing this. And in my experience, not so many. On the other hand, those people who take responsibility for their own life, for their own happiness, are people who achieve success, are people who are happy and fulfilled in general. And I know that especially those of us who have been in difficult, circumstances, challenging situations, it's, the easiest way is to complain. The easiest way is to, blame the outer world in general. It could be blaming our parents. It could be blaming, the government, very typical, especially in my country. It could be, blaming the weather in some cases, or our partner, also very typical. Basically, we are putting the focus outside and we say, well, if only this person was acting in a different way, I would be much happier, everything would be easier. Or if only I had, better parents, I would be much more successful in my life, or I would get the needed education. All of those things are not helpful. All of them. These are negative thoughts which basically take the power out of you. By saying that, this person, or especially when you say the government is responsible for, well, my career failure, for example, you are powerless in this situation. You're saying to yourself or to the universe that, well, you cannot do anything, nothing depends on you. You become the victim. Being the victim is never, never, never the positive attitude, the positive, role that you can take. It only gets and takes away your power. And of course, sometimes we can do that, like, we can feel sorry for ourselves, which also has some kind of, psychological role, because it helps us to connect with ourselves better. But it's not helpful about, achieving success, about changing something, actually. It means that you're waiting for, the government to change, you're waiting for your partner to change, and actually you cannot change your parents. So in this situation, if you're blaming them, then you have absolutely no chance to improve things. So if you're in that role, first of all, don't blame yourself, and don't think that this is, well, what it is and it's over and you cannot change it. Believe that people change, especially or only in the cases when they want to. That's my, personal philosophy. I think it's really hard to change someone else. For example, change your partner, change your child, your girlfriend, or whoever. It's really difficult. The person can change only if he wants to. And if he wants to, he is capable of changing. So here is the first thing that we should never forget, and we should remind ourselves about this, that we need to take full responsibility for our own life, for our own happiness. And of course, when you are part of a difficult situation, especially if that includes a difficult health condition, for example, you have some kind of disease or something similar, I know these are really challenging moments, but here what you need to change is your perspective, how you look on this situation. And I would like to remind you about the different examples that we have for people in severe, condition or situations who have achieved great results. Think about all of those athletes, for example, who have no arms, who have no legs. I honestly don't remember the name. I think she was an author, writing great books. And this woman couldn't hear, couldn't see anything. I mean, anything during her whole life. She couldn't move. There was only one way that she can, connect with others. And in this way, she has found a way. Of course, there were some therapists who have taught her, who have coached her. And she had some great books. And basically, she is achieving success even in this condition. And I know it's really, really hard, but even in those situations, look for the positive examples. And you will find out that there are people, first of all, who are in a much more difficult situation than you are. No matter what your experience is, in almost every case, you will find someone who is in a worse situation than you. And in many cases, you will also find people who are able actually to achieve success or to feel happy even when basically their life is not perfect. So it really depends on us. And especially the most important is actually our attitude, how we accept those things. And here is another thing I want to share from my experience as an astrologer. Most of the people who are searching for advice are people in a difficult life situation. Of course, there are some curious people who want, well, to get a prediction or something like that, simple prediction. But most of the people, they need advice because they're in a very difficult situation. And from my experience, I will tell you that after some time passes, looking back at those difficult experiences, most of the people are actually grateful for them. Even though when you are, in the storm and everything is so challenging and difficult, well, it might be hard. But after some time passes, people admit that those difficult situations have been the most important in their lives, and they have changed them, and they have made them better people, better in their understanding, being more compassionate, growing spiritually. So it really depends on us how we are going to look at the situation. If we feel like we are victims, like we cannot change anything, that life just happens to us, this is the mindset of the loser or of the unhappy person. The happy person accepts that there are ups and downs. We all go through that. Look at famous people, successful, popular, especially actors, singers. All of them have their own ups and downs. It's just life, and we have to accept that, and we have to do the best that we can during those difficult situations, because these are the moments which allow us to grow or to expand or to move to the next level, especially if we are talking about spiritual growth. So take responsibility for your own life is my first general advice. I hope I made myself clear. I hope you agree with me. I hope I will make you think about it more and remind you about this general truth. The next key advice, also very simple, it's to be active, to take action and to initiate things. Again, if you wait for something else to change or someone else to change or for better circumstances, if you are extremely passive, you also probably will feel powerless. And in most of the cases, well, life doesn't change until we change. So take action. Don't forget about this. Again, speaking from my experience with my clients and also from my personal experiences, when you're in a really tough situation, don't forget to take action. And if something doesn't work for you, try something else. If that doesn't work, try something different. It's, the mindset of the active or proactive person. Don't forget that, taking action also increases your personal power, your energy, and also your confidence. And you feel like, you become a warrior in some way. You're doing something, you're trying, you're putting efforts, you're, overcoming obstacles. And even if it doesn't work as soon as you would like to, or in the way that you want to, don't forget, that this is the right way for things to happen. You have to do that. And I think that the most successful people are those who are constantly taking action, doing something. Sometimes this can also be related to some inner processes. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do something well on an outer level. Sometimes it also requires inner work. But don't forget that by taking action, especially if you change those actions when they don't work for you, this is the strategy that will get you closer to your happiness, to your increasing your confidence, especially for people who struggle with their confidence. Taking action and results, even the small results, are what will help you actually to increase your confidence. Okay, and the next thing, also a key quality, which is essential for success and personal transformation and life transformation, it's consistency. Don't give up. Don't stop. And here is something also important. Even if you stop for a certain period, well, don't think that, well, I have stopped my progress, well, let's leave it, it's over. Even if you lose your motivation at some point, don't forget that you can always restart things. And here, actually, a very typical example is with people who start practicing some kind of sport. I think that, all of you have seen these people who get really excited about it at the beginning. I remember a couple of guys, even from my friends, who get so excited, training 2 times a day, eating healthy, taking enough sleep, doing everything. But, they're doing it so intensely that at some point they are incapable of following the same direction. And for example, let's say they have a flu for a short time, let's say for a week they stop training, and after that they are incapable of restarting that. So that's why usually my advice is, when you want to start something, even if it's related to your health regime, a diet, a physical exercises or something like that, start with something small but be consistent. I also know, recently a friend of mine shared with me that she's doing yoga for 15 minutes every day, every single day. And also she's doing 3 push-ups a day, literally. And she says, well, I know it's not so much, but I'm doing it every day and it helps me to feel stronger and I feel better and my body looks nice, and her body really looks nice. So if you need to choose between, a very intense, stressful period when you are, doing so much, but for a shorter period, and on the other hand, you have a consistent long period when you're taking action, even if you're not pushing yourself so much on a daily basis, trust me, the second group of people will succeed more. Consistency is one of the keys when you want to have success. And think about all of those, let's say, sports players. For example, one of the people that comes to my mind is Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the, I think, greatest football players of our time, at least. It doesn't matter if you like him or not. I'm not sure if I like him, honestly, but I truly admire him because he is so consistent and hardworking. Many people say that he's not one of the most talented players, but he's really hardworking. I think that he has a really, intense schedule, training even during the night. It's really harsh in his case, but the most important is that even when he's at the top, because, well, he is at the top, even then he doesn't stop. He's not, happy with himself and say, well, I can relax now, I can take it easy. He's doing the best that he can every single day. So it's really important. And look at examples of famous people, famous, successful people. Uh, the other, the other example is, well, actually, all of the Olympic players are people who are very consistent because you cannot achieve success, especially in sports, if you are not consistent training well every single day. And well, most of us are not professional, sports players, but we want to be successful in certain area. We want, career success, or we want to lose weight, or we want to be healthy, or we want to learn something else, or we want to improve our skills in certain area. It doesn't really matter, but if you have a goal, you have to take action and you have to be consistent. And doing something small is better than doing nothing. I will always, remember this example with my friend who is doing 3 push-ups a day, but she's doing that every single day. And sometimes, even I'm doing this with myself. Let's say that I want to make a full training, or I want to do something else which I know will take a long time, and I feel I don't have enough energy, I'm unmotivated. Well, I'm trying to skip that, and then I remember that doing something small, doing part of the training, doing a couple of exercises, or reading part of the book is better than doing nothing. And it really helps you, especially at the end of the day. You can say to yourself, well, I did something meaningful today, even if this is about doing 3 push-ups, even if this is about reading 5-10 pages of the book that you would like to read, or let's say watch a 20-minute training in the area that you are interested in. Small is better than nothing. I always, in those cases, I remember this expression that even, if you're, let's say, walking for 15-20 minutes a day in the park, you're still doing better than those lying on the couch in front of the TV. Even if you're not, one of those runners who, run for 10 miles a day or something like that, they're doing this 4 or 5 times a week. Even if that's not you, even if you do 20 minutes or 15 minutes walking, you're still in front of those lying on the couch. So when you're unmotivated, when you have, less energy, or you have too many tasks to do something, do a little instead of, skip the task. And you will be much more happy and fulfilled with yourself. Okay, we are moving to the next important advice. The next advice is take good care of yourself. Don't forget about yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to come and take care of you. It's great if you're supported by wonderful people, loving family and friends. If it doesn't matter, you shouldn't forget about yourself. And of course, here we have a couple of things to mention. First of all, take care of your physical body. You can't be happy and successful if your body is not in a good condition. And basically only this topic requires a full training, so I'm just going to mention the most important things without going to details. But I think that many of you know those things, or you can find enough information about them, but don't forget it, please. Especially nowadays when we are so busy and we have so many tasks, we often forget about ourselves, our health, physical, spiritual, emotional health. So the first thing is drink enough water. Here I have to admit, I struggle with that. I forget, it's difficult for me, and I'm trying to focus on that. I'm not relying that I will do that because I'm thirsty. It doesn't work for me. I have to get my bottle of water. It's here, and I'm, well, doing this intentionally. I'm drinking water, and this is something essential for every human being. So don't forget about this first. Second, about your nutrition, your diet. Pay attention to that. Again, huge topic. And there are many directions you can choose to follow here. It really depends on you, but again, start with something small. Do something instead of doing nothing is better than following the best diet in the world. So try to pay more attention to what type of food you are eating. Are you following a healthy regime, or are you in some way neglecting your body? So again, we are just mentioning that we need to pay attention to our nutrition. The next thing is our sleep. If you're not taking enough sleep, your nervous system cannot recharge. Here, of course, different people may have different requirements. Some people need only 6 hours. Some people need maybe even 5 hours a day. Sorry. Other people need 7, in some cases even 8 hours a day. But don't forget about it. If you don't take a rest, your body will be exhausted, and it won't allow you to enjoy fully your life. And of course, it affects all of the other areas. It affects your mood, it affects how you communicate with people, and especially it affects your work, your achievements, your career. And so we have water, we have food, we have sleep, of course, exercises. You don't have to be an athlete, you don't have to be a professional sports player. You can do simple exercises, but do them regularly. Especially nowadays when we have YouTube, you have so many programs, trainings, which are completely free. The only requirement is to do them, to follow them. So 10-15 minutes a day is absolutely enough, especially to begin with. So don't forget about it. It will change dramatically everything. And when we also say taking good care of yourself, of course, it's first of all on a physical level, but also on a spiritual level. So don't forget to learn new things. This is the other thing which will, change, or which will transform your life. Learning new things basically on a daily basis, I would say. And you may do this, as I said, on YouTube. You can find so much information. There are so many books that you can read on different topics, but don't stop learning. Don't stop, improving your skills. That's, what will bring you success in every life area. And of course, it's, especially when we talk about our spiritual growth, this is extremely important. And we have our fifth advice, which will help you to transform your life. It's, well, very clear. It says, surround yourself with positivity. Here, there are two parts. The first one is not so challenging. The second one can be more challenging for some people. First of all, surround yourself with positivity means read or watch positive things. Especially on social media, there are so many positive, channels. There are positive Facebook pages. Even on Instagram, there are great profiles, which, they charge you because, they post great quotes, or they post inspiring pictures, or, some kind of advices. And as I said, we all know all of those stuff. They're not brand new, but looking at them, seeing them, reminding ourselves about them on a daily basis is what makes the difference. So consciously search for those positive things. Honestly, my personal Facebook profile is full with those, positive pages and profiles and people who I'm following. And I feel really, charged with positive energy looking at those things. The other thing which I honestly recommend people is to avoid the negative news. I personally don't watch news on the TV. Actually, I don't watch almost any television at all, especially the news. We are hearing about murders. We are hearing about awful accidents or people doing mean things. It literally affects your personal energetical field if you're constantly, hearing about those things. That's why I recommend people to try to avoid those things. And the second part of the advice related to surround yourself with positivity might be, as I said, a little bit more challenging, because you also need to choose wisely the people who will surround you. And if you're surrounded or spending time with negative people, the chances are that you are also much more likely to be negative. If you, spend time with friends who, constantly complain about things, who don't want to take responsibility for their lives, who are gossiping or talking mean things about others, it affects you and your life and basically everything. So choose wisely the people who will be around you, especially when we talk about friends. Because with our family members it might be more difficult. They are who they are, but again, we can choose our attitude, we can choose how to respond to that, and of course it can change the general situation. But when it comes to your friends, try to spend more time with those who can teach you something, who are a great example at something, who are successful in something, or who are very nice people in general. This will also make a very big difference. And I know that sometimes it's not so easy. Maybe this is the advice which will take more time, but it's also very important. So here we are, guys, with our 5 general rules about how to transform your life. I will remind them again for those who have joined later. So advice number 1 is take responsibility for your own life. Advice number 2 is be active and initiative. Advice number 3 is don't give up and be consistent. Number 4 is take good care of yourself. And number 5 is surround yourself with positivity. If you try to follow those advices, I can promise you that your life will be completely different. If you have some kind of comment, or you would like to share your experience or opinion about those ideas and advices, I will be Really happy to read them in the comments. And now I would like to share with you about Abundance Academy, the new project I'm starting, and actually how it can also help you to transform your life or to improve your life in general. So, Abundance Academy is a membership platform for personal development and spiritual growth, which uses um, the first of all astrology and also group coaching as techniques. And each month we have a monthly theme which starts on the 20th of the month, and the topic is related to the sign position of the sun for the particular month. For example, now on the 20th of September, we are having our new theme, which will be focused on the topics related to Libra, because the sun is going to enter the sign Libra. And this is a very beneficial period for us to focus on those and on those topics, because the energy is supporting us. So on the 20th of each month, we have our new monthly theme related to the sign position of the sun. And also we have a special platform where you can log in. You have, you will get actually profile, a login details with your password. And on the platform, you will find, first of all, a group coaching session with me personally, which will be, of course, focused on our topic. We are going to discuss, how you can achieve something or how you can improve your life. I will give you some advices and concrete steps, again, related to our topic. The other thing which is also included is a guided meditation. Each month you will find a new guided meditation in the portal. First of all, these are really special meditations for me because the music is very special. The music is composed specifically for our purposes, specifically for those meditations, and this music is healing. This is very, very special music, different each month. Also, during those meditations, we are going to use EFT, emotional freedom technique, or also called tapping. It's okay if you're not familiar with that. It's really simple. Basically, we are pressing certain acupuncture points while we are repeating something. I will guide you through all of this process, so don't worry if you're not familiar. And it's a great technique which will help you to set free from some kind of blockages, problems, memories, everything. And also will help you to concentrate on something positive and something new. And my goal, my purpose is to make those meditations around 10 minutes. So they are not too long because I don't want this to be overwhelming. And my advice is to practice the meditations daily, especially if you can at the beginning of the day or in the morning, because in this way you will charge yourself. You will, you will increase your vibration. So we have those guided meditations, which also include the EFT technique. We are also having a monthly affirmation, which means basically we have something concrete which we are repeating to ourselves. Of course, this is related to our monthly theme. I will give you an example. For the upcoming season, the Libra season, the topic will be love is everywhere around me. So this is our affirmation. My advice is, of course, the best thing is if you can write this daily. If you can write it 100 times a day, it would be, the best thing you can do. But even if you can do it daily, just, put it in front of yourself on your desktop, on your telephone, in your journal, or, somewhere where you will see it, to remind yourself about this affirmation, or also you can call it a mantra. basically something positive which we would like to, materialize, to manifest in our lives. Also, we are going to have a gemstone of the month, or a crystal. Again, it's something like that. Here I have some crystals. Basically, this is the pink quartz. Each month it will be different, and the best thing is if you can find yourself one of those gemstones, or you can find, a universal gemstone. I will talk about it during the sessions. It also helps to, increase this energy. And we are going to have a monthly color. A monthly color which, will help you also to boost this energy in your life. Of course, the most important is, to do the meditations. The most important is to listen to the coaching session, which, by the way, is also recorded and available in the portal. And, to remind yourself about those affirmations. And we are also having a Facebook group for our community, where you will find more inspiration, where you can, share your experiences, ask for support from others. So basically, very warm, positive environment with people who have same interests like you. And there will be other bonuses for the members. Some of them are related to discounts for some of the webinars or trainings that I will make. Others are, a surprise. Basically, there will be more and more stuff in the portal available to you, which will help you to move in this direction. If you're interested, you can sign up for Abundance Academy. The link is below this video in the description. The price is $17 a month. You can cancel your membership anytime you want. So there are no strings attached. Whenever you want to, you can, be out of the community. If you want to, of course, you're welcome to stay and grow with us. So I'm really, really excited, guys, because I think it's, an adventure for all of us. And I think it will be amazing, because we are going to connect with each other. We are going to make those group meditations. Don't forget about the group energy. It really helps you when you are trying to achieve something. If you get surrounded by people who can help you, who can support you, or who are interested in the same things as you are. And here, by the way, you don't need to know any astrology. Basically, we are using astrology as a helpful tool to, guide us, which are the most positive periods to focus on something, whether it will be love or career or money or health, our children, education, spiritual growth, healing the past. There are countless topics, and each of them are related to certain sign, astrological sign. So, for example, during the Libra season, of course, we are going to focus on love. During the Scorpio season, about transformations, healing, releasing the past. Sagittarius is the sign of education and wisdom and prosperity. So each month we are going to, use the sun as our guidance and also as support. So if you're interested in that, of course, you are more than welcome to join us. If you have some kind of questions about this topic, I'm ready to answer them. So you can ask me here in the chat. You can also send me an email if you want to. Okay. So please ask your topic related questions. Here we have a question. Are you doing moon magic rituals too? No, it's not included in this community. We are doing our other webinars on the channel, but they are not a part of this program. Okay. I know there is a little delay. Okay, I see that here are people who are enjoying those things. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, here we have a question. I find it challenging to feel accomplished at the end of the day if I have only done a portion of the work rather than see the final result. Well, I completely understand you, dear. But again, it really depends on how you're looking at the situation. If you are doing something, it's always better than doing nothing. And here, I think that your question is related to mostly to trying to be perfect. Perfectionism is one of the really dangerous things, I personally think, because if you want to be perfect, you will never be happy. No one and nothing can be perfect. And instead of trying to be perfect, focus on improving. So, even if something isn't perfect, you have to be, uh, you have to appreciate the fact that you have started this or that you have tried this. That's the right mindset that will help you to achieve even more, to start something, because perfectionism, it's very often a blockage for so many people. Because if you're trying to to do it in the best way from the first time, usually it doesn't it doesn't work. Okay, how long will it take? There is no, time frame. This is gonna be a long-lasting project community. So you will also have access, by the way, to previous months, to all of the content from the previous time. So you can always come back as long as you are a member, of course. And we are going to have a new monthly theme each month, so we are not going to repeat things, and there is no time frame. Somebody says to do less sometimes is an improvement. Yeah, especially if you are too harsh with yourself, if you are, you know, if you have too many requirements for yourself. I honestly sometimes do this also. I'm focusing on too many things and I don't get enough rest. And sometimes, I feel exhausted and sometimes I just have to take the rest. It's not the right way to treat yourself. And I'm, really working on that too. Trying sometimes to, allow yourself to take a rest. Also, for this person who asked, if they're not happy at the end of the day, um, my question is, are you taking a rest when needed? Because sometimes if you're not allowing yourself to relax or to recharge, at some point you just have to do that. So also for some of us, this is a challenge. Okay, do you have some other questions, guys, about Abundance Academy? This is honestly, this is one of the most interesting topics. I'm really interested in that because there is always something new to learn. Personally, I never stopped learning. I'm constantly reading something, following something, attending some trainings. So it only helps you. The price for Abundance Academy is $17 a month, for as long as you would like to be a member. So whenever you want to, you can quit. Of course, you won't be charged anymore. So if you would like to join me on this wonderful adventure, again, you will find the link in the description below. Okay. So I would like to thank you all for joining me today. It was really nice to talk to you um, about those interesting things. And if you want more information for Abundance Academy, you will find the link below the video. If you have any questions, you can also contact me. You can send me an email. You can go to my website, marstars.net, and you will find my contacts there. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I will be really happy to see you in Abundance Academy. And until next time, of course, by the way, if you are interested in certain topic, or you would like, you need guidance in certain area, or you have some suggestions, what would be helpful to you, how I can serve you better, also, you're more than welcome to send me your suggestions. You can send me an email. It would be really helpful. I will be really happy actually to be able to give you exactly what you need. So again, thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope I will see you really soon. Have a nice day.